Remember this crypto bro?
Have your attention now! Do I have it?
Ben Armstrong, better known as BitBoy Crypto. At the peak of crypto hype, he wasn't just popular, he was untouchable. Today, he's facing more than 15 years in prison.
Sorry, I reached too fast, I'm sorry.
This isn't a fall, it's a chain reaction. Ego meets money, money meets fame, and every bad decision accelerates the next. This is the rise and the total collapse of BitBoy Crypto.
People don't believe me, they think I'm lying. You're gonna listen to my advice!
You're watching More Than Leverage. Like and subscribe, it helps with the algorithm. At first, Ben Armstrong built trust by selling himself as a normal guy who turned his life around, found crypto, and figured out how a broken financial system really worked. Going live almost every day,
Welcome to the morning show, everybody.
sometimes 5 times a week, breaking coins down in simple language
Just came out. Yep. Just launched.
and pushing crypto as the escape from banks and traditional finance. As the channel grew into one of the biggest in crypto, the flex slowly became part of the pitch. The Lamborghini in the garage, designer clothes, studio upgrades, and claims that his crypto portfolio was worth around $40 million at the peak. But what most viewers didn't know was that much of that money and control didn't actually sit with Ben personally, because the assets, sponsorships, and operations were held under BJ Investment Holdings, run alongside his business partner TJ Shed, who is managing millions in revenue, sponsorship money, and company assets behind the scenes, while Ben was the face and megaphone. That imbalance mattered because once promotions failed, lawsuits hit, and trust cracked, Ben didn't actually control the structure he was standing on, and when the company moved to cut him out, everything unraveled at once.
But when you hear the proof and the evidence, you yourself think that BitBoy, I don't know, we'll see.
The brand, the Lamborghini, the marriage, the public image, turning a multi-million-dollar crypto influencer into someone live streaming breakdowns, getting arrested, and within roughly 3 years, going from selling financial freedom to facing more than 15 years in prison. The first real crack in Ben Armstrong's empire came from one tiny token, Pamp. A hype coin that didn't need a product, it just needed Ben's audience, and that's what made it dangerous. Because on his channel, he wasn't just talking crypto, he was moving people's money with his mouth. He posts a video and literally says this coin can only go up. And when Pamp rug pulls, one of the loudest critics to call it out is Atosi, who makes a video saying straight up this is a scam.
Suing me for calling him out for scamming his audience.
And that's when Ben shows his real personality. Not the regular dude persona, but the guy who uses power to crush anyone who threatens the brand. First, he fires off a cease and desist demanding the video gets deleted.
Like that. So he sent me a cease and desist to delete the video. I completely ignored that. And then a few months later, he ended up suing me.
Atosi ignores it, and a few months later, Ben escalates to the wildest move possible. He sues him for defamation. And the crazy part is, it didn't even feel like he wanted to win on facts. It felt like he wanted to drain him. Because in the US, you can delay and appeal and basically turn a lawsuit into a financial weapon. And Atosi even says he thought this could cost him anywhere from $50,000 to millions, like a life-ruining bill.
That could have been a disgusting amount of money. I would still be paying that off to this day. Because I was hearing this could cost me anywhere from $50,000 all the way into the millions. So, awesome. Thankfully, we dodged that bullet because of you guys.
And while this is happening, Ben is still flexing, still acting untouchable, still claiming he's worth over 10 million, but the lawsuit backfires because Atosi makes it public and raises money to fight it. And with help from viewers, including Kobe, who donated over 100,000, they raise around $250,000 overnight, and just like that, Ben drops the lawsuit within about 24 hours.
To drop the lawsuit. Because, in my opinion, he just assumed that it wouldn't financially hurt me anymore.
Which only makes him look worse because it screams one thing. He didn't want the truth tested. He wanted the pressure kept quiet. And from that moment, Pamp stops being just another bad coin. It becomes the first domino in a chain reaction that ends with Ben losing everything. The brand, the marriage, the Lamborghini, and eventually jail time on the table. After the Pamp scandal and the lawsuit blowback, Ben tried to keep the BitBoy machine running like nothing happened. Still going live, still pushing the freedom narrative, still flexing the Lamborghini like it was proof. But behind the scenes, the people actually running the business, especially TJ Shed, were watching Ben change, and TJ later said Ben basically lost track of who he used to be and started burning every relationship around him. Then in May of 2023, with the market ugly and hype drying up, Ben makes the decision that takes the whole situation from messy to unstoppable collapse. He gets involved with a meme coin called BenCoin, originally launched by another guy named Ben Bennett. And Ben essentially does this weird takeover. where he puts money in, attaches his brand to it, and tries to run it up to his followers. And he's doing it alongside Cassandra, a contractor tied to the company who was seen as valuable because she helped secure that reported $1 million a month stake sponsorship. But internally, his own staff sees Bencoin for what it looks like, a shameless cash grab that would permanently stain the BitBoy brand. And this is where the line finally gets drawn, because they didn't want the channel associated with it at all. By August of 2023, things rot so badly that the parent company Hit Network, connected to BJ Investment Holdings, executes what's basically a corporate coup. Using clauses in the operating agreement, TJ Shed moves to buy out Ben's stake and strip him of control of the BitBoy Crypto brand, and that's when Ben's "I built this" fantasy collides with the reality that a lot of the structure and assets weren't solely his, including the one symbol he loved most, the Lamborghini. Because soon the Lambo is gone, and Ben becomes obsessed with getting it back, which leads to the most insane, most symbolic moment of the entire downfall. He shows up at Carlos Diaz's house with Cassandra in the car, live streaming the whole thing, doxing the address, claiming Carlos has his Lamborghini in the garage, and acting like he's about to take it back on camera, until police arrive and he's arrested right there in front of everyone.
I'm at Carlos's house. This is where Carlos lives, guys. I am live streaming from Carlos's house. Carlos has my Lamborghini right here in his garage.
And later, the court twist makes it even uglier. The judge rules Ben can't prove the car was personal property instead of a company asset, meaning the Lamborghini he used as proof of success might have never really belonged to him the way he sold it. And from that moment on, the regular guy who cracked Crypto story is dead. Because now, he's not just losing money, he's losing the brand, losing control, and unraveling in public. Exactly like that domino chain was always going to end. The final freefall. Once Ben lost the company, the brand, and the Lamborghini, whatever guardrails were left completely disappeared. And instead of stepping back, he spiraled forward in public, launching new channels, insisting he was the victim of a massive corporate conspiracy.
It was extortion, and the moment I signed, the plan was already in motion. All right, now let's get to one of the biggest lies.
And framing TJ Shed, Hit Network, lawyers, judges, and former partners as enemies, who destroyed his life. Until it all peaked in early 2025 when Ben went live and opened a 4-hour rant by screaming, "Do I have your attention now?"
Do I have your attention now?
Dropping what became known as the BitBoy Manifesto, a chaotic mix of accusations, paranoia, contradictions, and emotional breakdowns, where he claimed he was being framed for stealing millions and openly encouraged his audience to harass people involved in his legal cases. From there, things moved fast. Divorce is finalized, relationships collapsed, legal fees burned through what money he had left, and arrest after arrest followed for harassment and threats, including threatening a judge, representing himself in court, and escalating conflicts instead of backing down. Until the image completely flipped. The man who once sold crypto as freedom was now live streaming his own unraveling, looking unrecognizable in mugshots, ending up in psychiatric care, and facing the real possibility of more than 15 years in prison. And that's the final irony of the entire story, because the same traits that made BitBoy Crypto explode, ego, certainty, attention, and control, are the exact things that turned a regular guy who cracked crypto into one of the fastest and most public collapses the internet has ever watched. And if you like this story, you'll probably like the next one too, how a Canadian Forex trader stole $40 million.